Hello, everyone, and welcome to my universe. And my mouth is not moving. Let's fix that. There we go. Look, strictly speaking, I kind of see myself as talking telekinetically. I just make the mouth flap so that this way it looks more akin to how the average human would represent talking. All right. So, let's see. Guess who's still trying to fix my recursive pipe shenanigans? Oh yes, and hello there, Wolffighter, and hello there, Protox. Yes. But yes, we're still getting there. I feel like that every time I take a step forward, that there's like 7 more steps to it, and I'm just like, yeah. But it's okay. I think I think it's going well overall. I think I might actually be almost there for real this time. And, yeah, if we look at my debug output here, we're getting a few weird numbers, and that there's this... I don't think that the numbers should ever be getting this high. I guess I won't go into more detail than that, because it won't make it any sense to anyone but me. But I would expect this this number to be, like, 400 at most. Yeah, somewhere around there. So... I'm gonna try to diagnose what is causing this math issue, because I think I've got the entire process kind of figured out beginning to end, so I'm just gonna go through and we're gonna hammer out the numbers. I did a little bit with buttons, with a menu, but I wouldn't strongly say I'm going into a bunch of UI stuff. Mostly, I have been trying to figure out the math here, and if I get to a place where I can't go any further there for one reason or another, like I have to look up a ton of some math that I only kind of understand and various things like that, I will go into some other little bug fixes that I've been wanting to do. But right now, let's see here. Right now, I'm going to comment out some debug stuff here, because I don't think I need all of this to diagnose some of this stuff. Let me see, what things do I not want? Oh yeah, and the good news is that I think I found a way to go through and get these terrible conjoined recursive pipe chains working together without having to loop through them repeatedly. So if that's true, that's gonna be awesome for some later stuff. So I'm really hoping that this idea works. I really hope so, man. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I guess I probably want those numbers. Alrighty. So, I want to try to figure out when the number starts just getting huge. Because like I said, I really don't think it should be getting this big. So I'm going to kinda... I'm not exactly gonna start at the top, because the top does a lot of other stuff. I guess I can go through some of the wider steps. You can see that I have to do a lot of stuff once I determine that there's a recursive loop. And it's terrible! So first, I go through and I make sure that... I guess I should say, first I actually go through and try to find the pipes in the loop. Sometimes, a merge pipe is part of more than one loop, which is terrifying, but it does happen. So when that happens, I have to split them apart into separate loops, for reasons. And that's what this does. And then after they have been split apart, I go through and I look and see, does this loop contain the same pipes as another loop? Are they, like, literally identical? And just in a different order? And if that's the case, we get rid of it. We don't need the duplicate loops. And then, after that, I go through and I make sure that the recursive loops actually reach an endpoint and aren't just there uselessly derping around and just making a totally useless circle. I can show an example of that. This thing, totally useless, does nothing. Because, like, if I put the endpoint there, the red guy, you can see that this would come back around, but it just goes back into itself. It does nothing. So we ignore this. We pretend like this doesn't exist. And I want to get rid of everything like that. So basically, the first step of dealing with the recursive loops is finding relevant loops that I actually have to care about, and trimming away everything that I don't have to care about. And then after that, once we've kind of gotten all of the basic pruning out, I do one more thing where I look for the endpoints that the recursive loop is able to find. And it goes and it finds them, and if it realizes that it's not actually attached to any, we declare it useless and get rid of it. But if it is useful for something, that's when we start doing math. So, we apply a little equation to it. It looks like this. It's math, don't worry about it. But it's pretty effective. So, we do that, and then I have to go see if we're done or not. Because if there's one loop, or if there's multiple loops that don't intersect each other, we're done. The math is good, and we're free. It's just when they overlap and intersect each other. So you have to be getting really, really cursed in order to make that happen. Like, let's see, yeah, I still have this diagram up. So if we look at a diagram here, you need to be doing something silly like this in order for me to not be done. So strictly speaking, I feel like the recursive pipes are like 90% of the way there. It's solving those last really, really cursed layouts is just really hard. It's so hard, man. So, okay, let's start debugging some numbers, and I see that I still have my print statements here. So we're gonna use those to try to figure this thing out. Okay. I haven't been getting enough sleep. It's been too hot to sleep, and I'm just... Oh, man. Productivity has been hard for the past, like, 2 weeks. But it's okay. I'm getting there. So, the setup I've been working with has been this. And so this is the pattern I'm trying to solve for now. Once this looks good, I think we're going to be just about there. I want to do a few more tests before I declare them robust, and I'm ready to move on to other things. I am so ready to move on to other things, but I gotta get this right. It's too important. This is like the heart of the game here. If the math here is wrong, people will not have fun. Okay. So let's go look through all of this. So this is where we do some of the initial calculations. This is oh yeah, you can't see it right now. Let me go hide the game real quick. I need to keep it up, but we can hide in OBS here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So this corresponds to this printout here. And we get... Okay, so we got 2.2 for the result of this equation. This is before, which is about what I expect, and indeed, 200 times 2.2 is that. And at least in terms of numbers, that does seem about right. I don't know, do I try to explain why? Yeah, sure. So, if you look at this number right here, this is the percentage that's coming back, so about 68% is coming back, a little bit more than 68%. Which I think tracks because we come up here and then we have this useless thing right here where all of it comes back. And then when we come over here, half of it goes down into this and then a quarter of it comes back. So we already have the 50% from here coming back, and then we have another 25% coming back over here. And then we got this little bit over here, and then there's going to be a little bit more coming back over here. So I think 68% seems reasonable. I will have to go through and actually check the numbers on this, but I'm putting that off as long as possible because it's going to be awful. I've done it to some extent. But enough to know that the order of magnitude seems fine. So, this seems accurate to me. So we get up to 440 here, which seems cool. Okay, and so this is going to be the other big loop, which unfortunately I just closed the game. But yeah, there's another loop in there. 33%. Oh no, that's not 33%, that's 0.33. Is that reasonable? That seems low. 0.25. No, that might be okay. Let's see. 1 minus 0.25 is 0.75. 1 divided by 0.75. 1.33 times 0.25. Okay, so no, that's okay. No, I think it's probably okay. Alright. So that means on loop 2 here, we're getting this number, which... that'll be the number going back into that second one. I think that's okay. Yeah, this seems okay. So then from there, we get down into looping shenanigans, which is here. All right. where do I have the rest of this printing? I just want to make sure that I'm looking in the right place. Where do I have the pipe? Okay, so here we go. This is the other merger, which for this one is accurate. We're going deep into the heart of debugging here. This is why normally I do a lot of this stuff off stream. But this is what it looks like when I'm trying to figure out why are these numbers weird. Okay. So then we have loop ratio, which is calculated like that. A minus... Yes, that seems correct. Okay, just making sure I put the numbers in there right, but no, I think we're good. No, that's probably fine. So what this number represents is the amount of element from loop 2, or amount of resource going from loop 2 back into loop 1. But this number is huge. How do I calculate that again? Alright, so let's look here. So we're looking at this, where I take the amount that was in there before, right? Loop ratio times... How is that 9? Because I thought that this was 440 before. 440 times 1.1 is not 900. That's very awkward. Yeah, what is happening there? Then I get the loop, I get the element in there. Okay, I need to know how much is in this. I need this before. Looping before. No, I have looping before. That's what this is. And it's 900 somehow. Okay, so something happened between these 2 points that just ballooned the number. So it's... I guess whatever I'm doing here, that's making it not work. Because let's see. Up here we're getting the nice, friendly 440 that I expect. And by the time it gets all the way down here, the amount has somehow doubled. So the problem is somewhere in between. Alright, let's take a look at what I do. Okay. Alright, this little bit is related to that stuff up there, so I don't think this is it. This is where I remove any useless loops if they don't touch endpoints. So that's probably not it. Let's see. Getting the list of starting mergers. And then I see if they overlap each other. Okay, so this is where I'm kind of expecting the problem to be happening. I'm going to skip over that real quick and make sure that I'm not doing anything here specifically. So I'm going to go here. So we have this. I want to print looping up there. Just so that this way I can double check that number. Let's see, loop list, yep, that's the one. I want to see what this looks like right there. And if it is 900, then that will confirm that the problem is here, which is kind of what I expect, honestly. And honestly, if the problem is there, I think that bodes well. So... As weird as it is to say, I think it'll be relatively easy to fix that one. Because I probably just do weird math stuff. Okay, let's see. Alright, so here we are. I wouldn't call it a future me problem. I guess it's technically a future me problem in the same sense that future me is going to be the one that finishes the sentence. But I just want to cover my bases and make sure that I'm looking in the right place and I don't get caught down a rabbit hole. So let's look at my output here. Okay, so we got those numbers that I think still look okay. Looping shenanigans. Here we are. No. Where is... Here it is, loop index. I think I forgot to save before I ran it. My bad. I didn't print it. Oh, right, because I didn't say herpaderp. There we go, that's what I want to print, not the pipe name. Okay. Boop boop. This is exactly why I don't want to get caught down rabbit holes, because I have been having trouble occasionally. Alright, let's see. So we're gonna have... where are you? Loop percentage. Loop index. 440. Ooh. It is not breaking here then. Yeah. So I thought it would be breaking up here, but once we're here, the number is still okay. So it is breaking somewhere in this. Okay. And then we get down here. Looping shenanigans is here. And this number still looks okay. Wasn't it weird last time? No, so it was fine here. And then looping before. The number is wrong. Okay, so it's somewhere in this. Alright, well this totally wasn't where I thought it would be, so let me remind myself what the hell I was doing here. Okay, so first... the joy of nested dictionary is making everything like impossible to read. Hello there, juiciest pineapple. Welcome back. Let's see. Oh, did I just forget to comment some old code? No. Okay, so this is where I reapply what's coming back into the pipe, which is roughly 68%. Added to 400. This still shouldn't be that high. But it probably is this line right here, so let me double check this. So, I take the original amount. Right? Yes. I take the percentage. Apply the ratio. Yes. 2.2 would indeed probably get you roughly there. So that... it does check out, but that number is still way too high. Yeah. I thought that I had to apply it there. This might be another case where I have to go look up some math again. But, just for giggles, what happens if I do nothing? Oh, okay. I still need this one. There we go. Okay, so then I check to see its size. Okay, let me see if this gets me closer to the number I expect. Let me turn the game on here. All right. So maybe I'm just wrong about needing to apply that there. 80, I think, is a bit low, though. Because, let me see, the proportions I was expecting here. A little bit less than half, a little bit less than half. I guess 80 is a little bit less than half of 200. It might check out. And then... the remaining, it's like... Was it 1/16 or 1/8? It's a smaller number. Okay, well maybe I'll try to go through it manually and see if this works out the way I expect. Let's see here. Because here we have about 80, which is about equal to what's in the other one. I would expect this one to have about the same amount or a little bit less, and the fact that it has a little bit more tells me that there's probably a little bit of math wrong there. I don't think that this one should have more than this one, but I'll double check it. Let's see. And then what's in the other one? 161. Oh, that's way too big. Oh no, because this one... this one's 200 and 150. So this 80 is in this one. And this one definitely should not have the same amount as this one. So there's a problem. Okay, so I don't have to go through and try to calculate it yet, because I can already tell that there's a problem. The proportion is a little bit off here. And if I were to add all the numbers together, they'd add up to way more than 200. If this one was also 80, maybe it'd be okay. Because if this one had 80, this one had 80, this one had, what, 40, I think would be the remainder? That would kind of check out. But if this one has 80 and this one has 160 and this one has 80, no, that is clearly wrong. So I gotta figure out where it is. There has been one thing that I've been worried about, in that when I calculate the proportion of the resource going to places, I only check the endpoints here, and I sure did. It's amazing what math can do when you are in full control of the universe. Look, I'm still convinced that this is how we got platypi, right? You know, God was just trying to experiment and applying some rules to the universe and whatnot, and then he looked away for 5 minutes and suddenly there's a platypus. It could happen to anyone. Really, I think you could just say, okay, I'm gonna go do something over here for a bit, and then whoops, suddenly Australia. And then you just wonder how Australia happened. Alright, so let's see. Just breaking the law of conservation of mass is just me accidentally creating Australia, my equivalent. It'll keep happening. Okay, let's... Okay, what was I talking about right, and how I was worried, because right now, in order to check the proportion that comes back around, strictly speaking, I only check what proportion of things goes into the endpoints. I don't actually check what proportion leaves the loop, and I might have to do that. I've been putting off trying to figure out how to do that because it seems annoying. But bluntly. And I was hoping that I could get away with just doing it like this, but I'm not sure if I actually can. So I'm wondering if I also need the proportion of it leaving the loop. Which I could get. It's just annoying. Alright, well... let's keep putting that off, and I want to double check to see how the numbers are all coming together. So we're gonna go take a look at this function I have here called propagate pipe loop. And I'm gonna make sure that I'm putting the numbers on correctly, although... Yeah. We're gonna check that real quick, because I do have some debug that I have commented right now. We'll uncomment that and take a look at what numbers it spits out. Today is just going to be a very numbery day. Okay. So let's see. We're going to go up looping here, and so now we have this. Which... no, I need to go higher. I want to go to the very beginning. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so we got that, and then from here... yeah, everything's calculating right. I already checked that. We have... okay, so this is when it starts going through and starting to divide everything. So let's take a look at what we got here. Gonna be looking at the debug code down here. So we're starting with this merge pipe at the beginning. It has a 440 in this loop. And now we're gonna start propagating the loop. So the split pipe has half that. Oh man. The spirits are trying to talk to me. I wish they'd stop it. It's like, no, I don't want you guys to talk to me. I just want to talk to you, okay? Alright. Okay, so here we go. Splitter is 440. I'm just looking at water for now, because that's a bit easier than trying to do everything. So we have 440 water, then we go to the next one, which is going to be this one. That's a 220, which is indeed half of 440. Splitter is technically balanced. Go here, 220. 350, 450, here. 110, looks good. 55, yep. 55, yep. Merge pipe, 350, 300, that's this one. 110, that was half of what was in this one, right? I can actually check now. Really can't, unfortunate. Okay. Let me go back and find that splitter. That was 350, 350, right? Yeah, 220. And then we go back to 350, 300, 110. We're good. Okay. Okay, so now go to this one. This is not a balanced splitter. This is a glorified turn pipe that's pretending to be a splitter. We see through its lies. So it does not split things in half. It just goes up to the merge pipe, which 110. And you can see I keep the loop separate. So here we see the first glimpse of loop 2. Okay, so up to 110, and then we have the 16 from loop 2. And now we have to keep track of loop 1 and loop 2. Fun times. Alright. Try not to get the 1,000-yard stare here. I swear, one of these days I'm gonna learn more about tracking, and I want to program a thing where if I'm just staring with kind of half-lidded eyes with my mouth hanging open a little bit, all of the light goes out of them. They just have the, All right. So now 200, 250. Yep. That's the numbers I expect, and then it's just gonna pass over here into the fake splitter. So they'll be the same. And now, let's see. 200, 200. That 0, 50, 100, 150, 200. Yeah, that's 200, 200. Okay. Is it? Or is this 200, 200? 0, 50, 100, 150. Okay, this is 200, 200. I actually skipped one. It's bound to happen occasionally. Okay, so here. Yeah, no, this all seems fine. I actually skipped one, but we're still okay. So half goes into the vaporizer. That's 55, which is half of 110. And this number is indeed half of that. This is 16 and whatever ad infinitum. So now we have 8 going here and 55 going here, which seems right. And then the split pipe is... This one is going to get the other half of that, so 55 and 8. And it's going to pass it up to here. Yep, 55 and 8, where it's going to split in half again. We get 27 and a half, yep, and 4 and some decimal. They receive from the white side and give from the black side. This is all, you know, it's all placeholder. So, but yeah, the white side is where they get stuff from, the black side is where they give to. So you can tell when things are splitters because they have 2 black parts. And when they're mergers because they have 1 black part. Okay, so there's 27 and a half and 4. And then we go over to here. Oh, the vaporizer, they can receive from any direction. I just went ahead and put the white line on there, so this way I can know which side is up. Because I felt like it. I know I'm gonna have to do something with the red one eventually, so I did want to know which side is up. But these black ones are just placeholder. They are not going to exist in the game. They exist for me to test splitters. So I don't really care how they look. Or really what they do, for that matter. Okay. Yep. 100, 150, yeah, that's this one. Okay, so now we're getting into this one. 2 and 13, which is half of what was up here. Which is perfect. Because the other half of it is going back to this one. And then we have... I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh no, I see. We're going to have buffers eventually. That's basically what these guys are going to become, and they're going to have certain rules and stuff, but I haven't made them yet. So, these guys will eventually become buffers, but no, pipes only matter if they connect to an endpoint. If you just have a long string of pipes that don't go anywhere, they do nothing. And nothing will go through them. Okay, and then 100, 400, which is this one. Which is getting the other half from here. Okay. I see. There's a problem here. I know what it is. Explaining it is another thing entirely. Fixing it is even harder than explaining it. Life is hard. So... I used an array for my data structure so that this way the pipes would always be roughly in order. That's why you notice that I was able to follow the string quite easily as I was going around things. It all made largely logical sense. And then suddenly we go from this pipe to this pipe. And that's because, how to say, because what happens is I keep track of the path created based on the general flow of things. But after a while, once you get to a splitter, you check one side of the splitter, and then you have to go back and check the other side. And a lot of my splitter paths are relatively simple. Like once we get to this splitter, it's like we see, oh, this is only one, and so that's nice and easy. Whereas, this side's a little bit longer. Whereas when we check this splitter or this splitter, the path is a little bit longer. And it kind of leads to a little bit of messiness. So the reason that after checking this merge pipe, we don't come down here is because this one was already in the path from when we went and did this loop. If you remember that at the very beginning. And so once we reached here, we don't need to come all the way back here because this pipe already was in the array. So what ends up happening is, okay, this splitter I have now checked its other side, which is like literally everything over here. Now we have to go check the left side, which is this merger. And then it comes back up here. And so it's just getting the last little piece that's in there. So this guy here is getting that 220. And this merger up here that connects to this one only has 13.75. When it seems like what it should have is both of these together. And it's... The weird thing is that this would make the number even bigger, but I keep saying that I think that the number proportionally going in here is maybe about right. But these two are getting too much, and I'm wondering how that's working. Oh, man. This is wild. See, I told you, every time, I think I'm getting close to solving this. Something comes up that makes me realize that there's like 7 more steps. Oh dear lord. So, I actually do a step after this, where I try to resolve this problem. Okay, so the last time that I had a problem like this was when I was splitting apart loops. I guess I can explain that. So the way that my algorithm that finds the loops works is it goes through and it finds everything that loops back to the original pipe. So for this guy, there's 3, I believe. We have the one that goes around here, like this. We have the one that goes around here, like this. And then we have one that kind of does a little dance and goes around like this. So I believe we have 3. And then I believe that this one gets eliminated as useless. And because it is useless. So we're left with these 2 and then a third one that goes around like this. And those are the three left in the, and that of course, you know, this guy. And those are the three left in the list. And I was having a hard time splitting them apart for a while because I was trying to avoid duplicate values. But it just kind of made sense to leave the duplicates, and that made splitting it very easy. So I'm wondering if I can solve the problem by allowing duplicate values in the initial path. I'm a little bit concerned about this because for easy patterns, like say this guy, where, you know, if I have stuff like this, I already have this solved and I'm really afraid of breaking it, but I feel obligated to try, so I actually think it might work out there. I'm gonna go take a look at the algorithm that I use to find the path, and I'm going to see if keeping duplicate values helps me or not. Wish me luck. Alright, here we go. So it's right here. Do I have backups? Yes, I do. Don't worry, I know how to maintain my code. I got this. It doesn't make me any less terrified. That's just the kind of person I am. I know I can revert things, but it's still scary, okay? Let's see, so... how do I handle this? I just have to refresh myself on what I do here, because I know that this is shenanigans. Or, you know, don't worry about it, it's shenanigans. Okay. How do I eliminate duplicates? As you can see, I got to solve it with recursion, which just always makes me happy for some reason. But I basically do everything with splitters recursively. I haven't been able to find a better solution for that. It works really well. I like it a lot. Okay, so I do check to see if it's already there, and if it's already there... okay. No, this should be fine. Because what I do is I see if it's already there just to make sure that I put the connections in properly. Is that how I stop the duplicates from happening? It might be. Because it doesn't look like I explicitly try to stop it. Yeah, and I do everything based on the previous. Oh, man. So if I want to try to put duplicate values in there, I might just have to rewrite the whole thing. Okay. The main thing is that I can't just go through and propagate the entire loop again, because that would also start putting things where it doesn't belong. Okay, I'm just gonna gasp for air a little bit here, but it's okay, don't worry about it. Because, yeah, I kind of see how I put all of this together. And the reason that you never see duplicates is because everything is done based on what comes before it. So basically, the way it's putting this together is it's saying, oh, hey, we have an extractor, cool. Now it's going here into the merge pipe, and it's being like, okay, we have a merge pipe. So I'm gonna add the value showing that this guy is connected to this guy back into this guy, now that I have found where it's connected to. And then we go to the next one, it's like, oh look, it's a split pipe. So I'm gonna add the information that this merger is connected to this split pipe, back to the merger. And then the split pipe, and it says, oh hey, look, it's another merge pipe. So I'm gonna add the information that this split pipe is connected to this merge pipe back into the split pipe. And, you know, ditto for this merger over here, that it's connected over here. And I work through it backwards, basically. Like, we flow forward, but we populate the values backwards. And it works really, really well for finding what is connected to everything, and finding complete paths through things. But, the way it ends up working, once I put the endpoints on there, is it goes through, and it checks this side first. We come up here, over here, and then once we get to the splitter, we check this side first, and then we check this side first, and so we get this complete loop first, and then we head back to this splitter to check the other side, in which case we'd get the invisible phylactery here, and then this splitter is complete, and then we go up here, and we check the other half of this splitter, which will go up into all this rigmarole where, you know, other things will be checked and whatnot, and then, yeah, and we keep going, and just everything gets found before we find the other half of this, before we check the other half of this pipe, in which case we find this is connected here. And we do find that this guy is connected to this, but I just modify the existing entry to know that, so it's actually not trivial to try to keep any duplicate values here. Do I need them? Because I don't feel like I can go through this again. How would I modify this in order to keep the existing values? I don't think it would be that hard, actually. Well, no, it would be kind of hard. My first thought was that I do keep track of what every pipe gives to within the pipe itself, but then I remember that I am abstracting out just, once the game comes up, all of these normal pipes connecting things. So I'm basically not caring about anything like these. I'm only caring about, like, the guys that affect the general flow. Because, you know, these, they just go forward, right? So I don't really need to keep track of every single one, and I can make things a little bit smaller by doing it like this. Because they'll just always have the same value that's in the guy connected to it. So I just decided not to worry about it. Hello there, Wendell. You know, so far so good. I'm trying to fix things, but fixing things is hard. Math is hard. But I've identified the problem, I think, but I don't know how to fix it, so I'm just kind of talking to myself. Look, have I mentioned that I love it when people are here? Even if you guys can't directly help me, just forcing me to explain myself is very, very helpful. It stops me from getting overly lost in my head. It's wonderful. So, I'm always very happy when people come by to help me debug my code, because all you have to do is sit there and say nothing. And you are an immense help. It is. Precisely. Okay. Yep. Very helpful. Unironically. Oh, man. I guess I could actually potentially use the loops, but I'm afraid of that too, because I can't just add what's in here. I could potentially identify it by saying if it's equal to or half of what's in the previous to determine whether or not we need to go through it, but I'm just always really afraid to do these things because I like to go through my head and see if I can find exceptions where this wouldn't be true and where it would break. I try to not have any specific cases. I do my best. Because once you start hard coding in specific edge cases, your code is dependent on what edge cases you can think of, as opposed to general rules. And it's extremely dangerous. It's so dangerous. I guess just to describe the problem again. Just to have it clear in my head. So when I go through and make my pipe paths, I try to get them in order. And the method I use generally does get it in order, but there's the occasional jumps for when you have to check the other side of a splitter. So for example, my path will give me this path here, and then I have to check the other side of a splitter, so we get the invisible phylactery here, since I just haven't put it down. And so we go from this to this, and that is not a coherent path anymore. But I don't know how to fix that, and then we have to check the other side of this splitter. So we go from the invisible phylactery to suddenly here, where we start, you know, doing this dance. We go up here, and then down to here, and then we go from here to this, because we have to check the other side of this splitter now. It doesn't come back around here, because it had already found this merge pipe at some point. So we just jump to here, and the way that I had been finding the path just to avoid shenanigans, or the way I've been assigning values, I should say, to avoid shenanigans, is I just use a for loop through that path that I made. And because the pipes are roughly in order, that has solved most problems. But then you have stupid stuff like this, where we have some amount of resource coming up here, down into this and over into here, and then you have another part of it going over here and up into this merge pipe again. So the value that is actually going in here is the sum of what goes here and around and what goes here. And that's rough. Although actually. Because the way I think I do things, I want to... Yeah, I do... Let me look at my code again, because I think that I might actually account for this. So this is when we have 1... This is if I'm creating the looping, and then otherwise I add to what's already there. So I might actually already be accounting for that. You know what? I think I might actually be okay. Because... Okay, so instead of printing this here, because it looks wrong when you just print each individual... pipe in the loop. Oops, no, control Y. No, you don't like that? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Alright. So instead of printing each pipe, I'm going to go to the very end after it has done its thing, and I'm gonna try to print it here instead. and let me see if I have accounted for that problem I was just describing, because I actually think I did. Once again, you guys are wonderful for helping me realize my problems. All I had to do was explain the code, and suddenly epiphany. We might not have a problem. That's rude. Okay. Rude. You know what I meant, spirits. Why you gotta be like that? You know what I meant. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way back up to the top. As you can see, we're printing a lot today. We're just neck deep in math today, and it's beautiful. Okay. So, let's go through our path again. We have the extractor. He doesn't have looping. The extractor can never be part of loops. He is my friend. I appreciate him right now. Okay. Let's see. So we have here 440. 440. 220. Yes. Yes. And then it's split in half, which is yes. And then we get it split in half again to here, which is yes. But we should also have something coming from over here. So this might be no. Yeah, I think this is wrong. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead a bit. I'm just gonna pretend like the numbers up until like right here are right. So I'm gonna go look for, what is that? 100, 150. Here you are. Okay, so we're gonna pretend that 27 is just right. And I'm not gonna worry about it. So we divide that in half and we get 13. But it is not getting the amount from this. Okay. Let's look at the code then. Is found merge pipe. I should not limit this to merge pipes. We are renaming found merge pipes to found pipes. Okay. Then we're gonna add this to a few more places. And you are just gonna become found pipes. Okay, and now I don't have to be very specific here. So we're gonna get rid of this. And I promise I know what I'm doing. We're just gonna gut a few things, it'll be fine. A lot of the time, you know, I'm always nervous when I do this, but I believe in myself here. Okay, so that sets everything up, and... this I might actually need, but I don't want it there. Alright. Okay, seems alright. And I will just revisit all the logic for that. Just gotta do a little bit of cleanup first. Is this for... I'm not sure what GMTK is. So no. It is not. Hello there, Danny. I am just making a game. No. Definitely not. No, I've been working on this for 2 months. Definitely not something I can finish in a weekend. Okay, we don't need that anymore. Let's see, so a pipe, I will just add... Yeah, I want to add it to the array. I don't know, but potentially. But no, I'm not. I'm doing this because I'm making a game. I'm not doing it for any purpose. It is a game that is going to be made. I don't do game jams in general. I don't want to speed run my development. I like to take my time. Okay. So let's see. I want to add to the array here. Oh yeah, lots of great games were started from quick proofs of concepts for game jams. I think game jams are great. I just have no desire to participate in them. Lots of good things that come out of them, though. Oh yeah, this is just a thing. And you know what? Even if it was, you don't gotta worry about it. People work at different paces. So, you know, it's okay if you take a little while. Looping. Do I want it to make sure it has looping? No, I think it's fine for it to not. I'll just do it always. Append. Type. Okay. Ooh. How delightfully vague. Okay, all the best themes are like that, I think. No, Colton. What am I doing? Okay. Let's see. So, if found pipes.has pipe, then we say that is found pipe is a true. Okay. I see. Well, always happy to have people co-working with me. Look, making games is fun. It's always nice when we can do it together. Oh yeah, the game sounds interesting. Good luck. Alright, so now I have to decide what shouldn't happen if what shouldn't happen if I've already seen this pipe before. Yeah, here, let me boot up my placeholders. So, it's going to be a Metroidvania, except instead of having your stats like your run speed, your jump height, attack, and HP fixed, you're going to be making a cool factory on the side that will directly increase that. So, you know, eventually if your stats get high enough, you're going to be able to jump to the stratosphere, run through lava, whether it's because you're really fast or just really tough, you know, all that good stuff. And just as a quick demonstration here, so you can see that currently the player state is kind of twitching a little bit when I hit the jump button. That's because the player has no air right now, so the player cannot jump. So let's give him a little bit of air here. And now he can jump. And there's also a little bit more air over here in this guy, so if we connect that over here, then you can jump even higher. And so that's the basic premise, and right now I am just working on trying to get the math right. Yeah, we're really excited about it. It's gonna be fantastic. It's just right now I'm trying really hard to get the math right. And, you know, for a little setup like that, it's easy. The math is already working. It's wonderful. But then, I want to be able to let the player make whatever cursed pipe setup that they want, including terrible stuff like this. So, yeah, right now I'm trying to figure out how to make sure that the math is right if the player decides that they just hate everything and want to try to experiment with non-Euclidean space. So, and they make something like this. Well, I mean, yeah, it broke last time because I printed. I was trying to print something that didn't exist in the dictionary, and the spirits don't like that. So, it wasn't any problem with the code. It was just a problem with my debugging. That's why I was like, screw you, spirits. So, yeah. Oh, you meant my demo, yes. I did, in fact, fix that. So yeah, we're working on trying to get just the most cursed things I can imagine working. But pretty much any reasonable case is working at this point. I just have to work on it when it's really, really stupid. So, we're getting there. It's okay, you can always brag, it's fine. Oh yeah, Go can do all kinds of cool things. It's what I'm using to make my model transparent. As opposed to anything else it could be. That's why you don't see neon green behind me, it's beautiful. Alright. Good luck with your game. I hope you're able to finish it in time. And I do hope to see you around again. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, let's see here. Back to the... driving myself slightly crazy with math. Okay, I don't have one yet. I can give you the source code on GitHub, but that's the only place I've got things sitting. So, here you go. Oh, Danny. My bad. Okay. Let's see. Math. Okay, so I want to double check. Do I need to care if there's duplicate pipes? Is there anything that I want to do? Okay, sure. There it is. It's just hanging out there. Feel free to try to trawl through it and see if you can understand what I was doing. I need to get some comments on this at some point because... Oh man. I've actually been pretty good about commenting the big chunks. I try to, but I've forgotten the past couple of weeks. I do believe that I pushed last week, though. I think I remember during my art stream that I needed to do that. Oh, nice. Oh, good luck. There's been a lot of good open source stuff coming for VTubers lately, so excited for that. Look, someday I hope that Eno-G 2D actually updates. That's what I use to make my model. My model's not a live 2D model, it's an Eno-G 2D model. And I don't know, I guess if the developer there keeps stalling, there's another one coming called Umamo, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, Umamo. And they're trying to be more compatible with live 2D. So if they're actually able to make their thing, I'm actually going to be able to use live 2D assets when I, like, rig a version 2 or something, and that sounds fantastic. So, good luck. Yeah, let me know how it goes. Is there anything that I want to do when I have already seen a pipe? Because this is all if it doesn't have looping. This is all if it doesn't have a loop. And if it does already have it, I think I do want it to do this. So I might not actually need to care. Okay, I'm not going to delete those just yet. But let me see if this gets my math closer to what I think it should be. The numbers are going to be way too big for a little bit, but that's fine. Oh, thank you. I'm not super active there. But I do try to keep the source code at least somewhat updated when I remember. If only so I have a backup for myself. Yeah. Congrats. And thank you. I think it'd be fun to contribute to some open source project at some point. I just don't think I have the developer experience to really be good at it. So I'd probably... I'd have to be careful. 495. Where am I getting the extra? Oh, okay. No, I see where the problem is. So, the extra here... Oh, the game didn't load this time. Rude. So rude. Okay, well, let's do it again. Boop. Boop. This actually looks right. This... plausible. I get the feeling I'm probably gonna have a number that's too big in the other ones, though. 83? No? No. Oh man, did I find the bug? Because that's the proportion I was expecting. Oh man. Oh man. Where's the other vaporizer? 166, shoot. Okay, no, I didn't find the bug. That's right. The small one is the one that comes first. I keep forgetting. It's not the big one. Okay. Closer. We're closer. Alright. Oh well. I mean, it happens. But you know, it's fine. Even if your idea isn't completely original, it's probably still worth making. You'll be able to add your own twist to it. It's kind of the, you know, I do a lot of illustration, and there's a lot of stuff with the illustration that becomes very similar, especially when you do anime-styled illustrations. And, you know, it's okay, because nothing will still be quite like anything that I draw, because I'm the one that put it there, and I have certain tastes and all that stuff. So that'll come through in my work, and I think the same is true of game design. Yeah, I'm familiar with Nietzsche as well. Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, congratulations. In that case, you know, congratulations. And yeah, I'm familiar with the forks. I think Lena's also part of Umamo. I think that she's transitioning to that instead of any Inochi forks. Just to kind of keep things working with Live 2D. She's been reverse engineering, excuse me, the Live 2D file format. So I see. Are there none? I don't know. I'd be surprised if there were none at this point. I guess some might be, most might just be made in other engines. I'm not sure. And hello there, Odora. Welcome back. Let's see. Okay, so where are my numbers messing up? Right. I was worried about this. Okay, that's what I was going to explain. Let's see. So yeah, this is what I was going to talk about, in that once this came around, I didn't want it to be dropped back in here. That sounds like something to ask your parents about. Let's see. So basically it's coming around here, it's coming back into the original, and I don't want that to happen. I guess that's why I did merge pipes specifically. Yeah. How do I stop that? Yeah, I just use the stable version that they have precompiled. There's a trial version that has all the exact same features as the paid version, except it has a 10-second nag screen telling you to buy it at the beginning when you first load it up, and I could deal with that, so I just use the trial version. It's the same as the paid version. I made this model the trial version, for example. Okay, so it seems like what I want to happen here is I don't want it to go back into here, but I do want this to go into here. So it seems like what I actually want to happen is that I don't want the values to go back into the starting merge pipes that have their number. Oh god. So it's very specific. I don't necessarily want them to complete the loop. Okay. No, I think I know how to fix this. And then I think that this will let me have my cake and eat it too, and that'll be fantastic. So we're gonna add a new parameter where I take starting merger. Starting merger list, and it will just be an array. No, not an array. An array of string. Okay. And then with that, oh, congrats. Good luck. For me, was high school really any different than middle school? A little bit, because I actually kind of liked school in middle school, but at the time I was in high school, I was just bored out of my mind. But that's not really the school's fault, that's just me. So I didn't like high school very much. Oh yeah, the nightly builds are totally busted with Inuchi right now. Everything is borked because she's like rewriting the entire code base. I'm sure there's reasons, but it seems a little excessive. I feel like Luna maybe gets a little bit fixated on things sometimes, and it's kind of interfering with productivity. We'll see how it goes. I hope 0.9 exists eventually. I'm also under the impression that she's keeping an entire fork of the programming language she uses to write it. Because she got mad at a decision that the people maintaining the programming language she's using to write it. So, that's why I say I think sometimes she gets fixated on things and it interferes with her productivity. I am increasingly concerned for the future of that project. Man, if you haven't heard me laugh, you haven't been here very much. I've always been pretty giggly. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I think I know what to do. So let's see, we're gonna take this. I've got the starting merger list, and... Okay, I think this is fine. I think I want this to be more specific, actually. I'm gonna call it starting merger. So that'll keep the array of the starting mergers that it's already kind of come across. And I think that this is fine. Okay, so we'll have that. Okay. All right, let's see. And then at the end here, after we do everything, I want to say if this is going to become found starting mergers now. So if starting merger, no. Yeah, starting merger list dot has type. So if it's a starting merger, and there's only going to be like a few things in it, so I think it's fine to do it without qualifiers. So I'll just do it like that, then that'll stop the starting mergers from doing anything. I just need to add... Okay, so that should be fine. And is found pipe equals false. And then we just don't do anything. Yeah, we just don't do anything on very specific mergers. This is wrong. Okay, hold on. This is wrong. The idea is close, because I actually do want it to do stuff with the starting mergers, provided it is not the loop that it started. Yes. If it's the loop that it started, I don't want it to redeposit into itself, but if it is not the loop that it started, then it's fine. I have to keep in mind the dreaded nested recursive loops. God, I wish life was easy and I didn't have to worry about that. But as long as I want my players to be able to play with non-Euclidean space, I gotta deal with this. I want to make my game. That's exactly what I'm doing. It's a good time. I'm very happy. All right. Let's see here. I'm very happy, despite how much I just go... you know, spiral and kind of drive myself insane. It is what it is. But I promise, it's been a great time. Okay, so if it has the loop... generally a terrible... Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by that, because, I mean, you can see I use a whole bunch of placeholder assets because there's just no point in trying to make them pretty right now. If I tried, it'd be hell to change later. So that's why I'm just getting all the gameplay elements working. And I think it's a good way to be. Let's see here. How do I determine when to not do stuff? Because I need to only do it on very specific loops. So when... Way too much work, in my opinion. The game will be pretty when it is pretty. For now, we shall use the default Godot icon. Grids that do not cover the screen. Let's see. Okay, so when the loop... this is hard. Because it's when it is the starting merger of its own loop that I don't want it to propagate further. Otherwise, it's fine. So how do I determine when it is the starting merger of its own loop? Because I can't use the indices. Look, my pipe sprites are beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about. They're so beautiful. The level of scuff is incredible. Look, that's like the best part. It's so awful. I'm wondering if I should just put a mark in the data structure, noting it as the starting. You get used to it. Genuinely, you get used to it. Oh god. Okay, well, I don't think that there's any option other than bringing the loop. Let's see. Yeah, that's why I just leave it scuffed. It's okay. As long as I know what I'm talking about, there's no problem, because nobody's gonna see this. I mean, I guess anybody that watches the stream will, but when the game is done, it's gonna look fine, and it'll all line up properly, and it'll be fantastic. Okay, so let me try to explain the problem that I'm having here. So what I wanted to do is, you see that I have this number highlighted here, and, how to say, it's higher than it should be. And I know why it's higher than it should be. It's because there's, you know, a couple of pipes connected to it. And those pipes are now, dumping their stuff into it when it shouldn't. When it's going back into the beginning, it should stop. But the problem is that there's a second recursive loop in this that needs to let its flow come through, no matter what. Actually, you know what? I think doing it like this might be okay, because I do go through things again. And if I go through things twice, it might be okay. I wonder if I go through it backwards. Just once. That might work. That's okay, I'm talking about coding, and coding is very complicated. So, don't feel bad if you can't understand all the words. Make an Easter egg that makes the pipes look all scuffed again. I don't know, maybe. I'm not sure if I want to keep most of this in there. I mean, it might be kind of funny, though. Just to show what my placeholders look like. Go back into placeholder version. Okay, so I can't figure out how to do this, so I'm gonna try it like this. I'm gonna try it like this. Oh, that's cool. Why'd you stop? And then... no, this is starting merger list. Okay. Alright, so you guys ready for things to get cursed again? I was solving a problem here like this at one point, but I'm pretty sure it's wrong. Pretty sure. So we're gonna do things a little differently, and... yeah, this is gonna be the issue. That does sound pretty dangerous. It's true. Okay, yeah, so my thought here is I'm gonna have it loop through the list backwards. I'm gonna do it backwards. And then... I hope that gets things to where they need to go. I think it'll be fine. Doing it backwards is actually gonna be hard, though, because that means that once I get to a splitter, I actually need to potentially double the amount, and... oh, man. But I think doing it backwards will simplify a lot of things. Like I've always said, you know, don't be afraid to let people fail. Okay. So we're gonna comment this, because I don't think I'm gonna use it anymore. And this guy is for something else here. I don't think I need that print anymore, honestly, but we'll go ahead and comment this. I don't want to delete it for now. I'm gonna have so much commented code that I need to delete once I actually figure out how to do this, but it's fine. That's a job for my future self. So I think I am going to make a function called propagate pipe loop backwards. And then we're gonna do this backwards. And I'm going to var reversed path is equal to path dot duplicate true reversed path dot reverse. Okay. Oh wait, path is a dictionary. You can't reverse a dictionary. How do you go iterate through a dictionary backwards? Am I allowed to reverse a dictionary? You know what? I'm gonna check that. I keep forgetting path isn't an array. I need to do it backwards. Yeah, how do you reverse the it's inherently unordered. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can't really do that here. Hum. I know, right? You can't reverse the dictionary. I was just like, oh, right, pass it on an array. I can't do this. I forgot. It's like I have been keeping a rough order. They are in order, and I have been kind of taking advantage of the dictionary's insertion order. So let's see, how am I going to reverse through the keys? I know. Okay. We're gonna make an array. And we're gonna do this backwards. Okay. So no, we're not doing this. Okay. Instead, we're gonna make an array. And it's going to be an array of string. And we're going to do this, and then we're going to construct a array of every key in there. So we're gonna say reverse path append pipe. Oh no, not reverse path, reversed path. Maybe I should give it a different name. Whatever, this is fine. This is fine. Okay. So we're gonna take that, and then we're going to say reversed path dot reverse, and I can do that. And then we're gonna iterate through that and find it in path. So we're gonna give it path. We're gonna give it reverse path. And doesn't need the starting mergers. Ooh. No, this should be fine. I'm just thinking about how I'm actually gonna write this. Because, like, this should help in theory, but now I'm worried about doing bad things. Yes, it is. Okay, it's just I don't know which things are connected to things in reverse order, so maybe I don't want to do it like this. That's what I was thinking about. Maybe I don't want to do it like this. It sounded nice, but I'm not actually sure if this is going to do what I want it to do. I'm not sure if this is going to be what I want to do. So my thought was that, okay, if I iterate through things backwards, I've got to get things to where they need to go. No, I think the way I was doing it before makes more sense. So we're gonna get rid of this. It was an interesting thought, but I don't think this is the way to go. Okay. I think that this will still be closer to what I want to do. So this just goes through and puts on values that didn't exist before. Just to make sure that they have them. For the things that were done out of order. And this should be for things that haven't had their value put on at all in general. Okay, so if I do that... Can I propagate the pipe loop again without breaking everything? I probably can, now that they have the values. But if I propagated the pipe loop again, I think I'd just run into the same problem, so I don't think that'll actually help. And I can't just do one where I set it equal to values, because if I run into a situation where something is fed by multiple pipes, it needs to add to what's in there. This is my struggle. Okay. So if we just take a look at my lovely pipe chain here, or it would if Godot wasn't being a meanie. I don't really care if people use AI. I choose not to because it doesn't really help me. But it's short of like looking up syntax or or if I ask a very basic question, like if I Google something and I see a good answer in Google's AI, I'm not going to be bothered by using it. But I don't generally seek it out. I don't really care if people use AI. I don't care about AI at all. People get up in arms about very silly things. Okay. Alright. So my current struggle is, here there's two interconnected loops. We got this guy, and then we got this guy. So he goes around like this, and then, you know, this guy could also loop around like this. So we have loops that are kind of interconnected. And... I mean, for the things that I have problems with, AI can't really help me, because they tend to be unique problems. And AI is really, really bad at handling unique problems. Why I generally don't. But I can see where it'd be useful. And I think it's fine to use it if it helps you. I just haven't had good luck with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with using it. Go around. So, because this guy comes back through here, I need to make sure that the value in loop 2 gets back onto this. And I'm trying to figure out how to do that in a way that preserves the numbers accurately. Because what I'm worried about right now is basically I'm going through it again. Just to make sure that all of the loops get propagated. But I know that this can't be accurate, because if something is fed... If a pipe is fed by multiple values, then it'll just have the wrong number in it. Yeah. And I mean, that's why I say I have a little bit more coding experience. Not so much in Godot, but... So there's some Godot nuances that I don't fully understand, but that's fine. And so I just haven't been able to find it in a way that's useful to me. But I think it's fine to use it. That's why I say, I don't think it's bad, I just generally don't, because it doesn't do what I want it to do. AI not smart enough yet. C#. Also, I guess I should say my native language is Perl, but C# I'm more familiar with. I guess I'm decently familiar with Perl. This is why I'm good at text parsing. I can. I don't know why I would. GD script is fine. Because I can't do plus equals here because that would interfere with certain other things. So this would propagate it. Maybe I should just set all its numbers to 0. Get it there. No, I can't do that either. God, this is hard. I might have to think about this one. I'd like to try to solve this today, because I feel like I'm just so close. Just so ridiculously close. But because of the order that I do things in, not all the values are getting around to where they need to go. And I need them to get around to where they need to go. What are my pipe loops again? I want to double check and make sure that they're what I think they should be. Actually, I shouldn't print them there. I want to print them here. Let's do it here. Print loop list. Let's see what loops. I wouldn't say I have a main. I just kind of go with whatever works for what I need to do. So, some people are very particular about the things that they use. I am not. I'm just gonna roll with it. I don't really care. This is how you know I'm a fake computer scientist. But if I'm gonna do text parsing, Perl probably makes sense. And if I'm gonna do anything in Linux, Perl probably makes sense. For anything else, nah, I don't know. Okay. So I'm gonna scroll back up to the top here, and we're gonna take a look at that list. Okay, so we go through and propagate. The numbers are looking a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, so we have 440 there. And now the numbers at the bottom should actually kind of make sense. I'll take a look at those while I'm here. Yeah, and now we have more in there, so this is a little bit more accurate. I am not. I'm using Windows. I haven't really done a lot of work on Linux for a pretty long time. And even then, you know, most of the work I did was just derp it around in idle curiosity, just server, sysadmin stuff. I know the basics. And I don't really have any desire to switch over to it right now. I might someday. It's been catching up. So, with the direction Windows has been going, Linux might be a little bit more viable here. With the advances that have kind of come in the ecosystem in the past decade. here, 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 here. Okay. So we got that one. Here, 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 here. And then we do the dance. And yes, I do know what all these numbers are. I have been staring at this for so long that I have memorized the coordinates for all of these pipes. I have. Okay. Then we're gonna get, what, 100 to 300. Yep, there we are. And back over here, so yes. And then the last one is here. Here. And then we do the dance, and it just comes back around. Ah, so it doesn't actually detect this one. I guess it considers it identical to this one, which is, I think, is fine. Yeah, using 50 for my grid size is nice. Nice, easy numbers. It's nice, easy numbers. That's why I picked 50 for my placeholder. It's big enough for me to be able to see stuff, but also a nice number. Okay. So let's see, with this... Okay, so those are all looking pretty good to me. So if I just... Because I do know that in one of my initial attempts, I did propagate things via loop list instead. I'm not actually sure if it fixes my problem here. That's why I say, I mean, it's just a really, really hard problem. That's why I keep just, you know, pausing and making funny noises. It is what it is. Oh, man. What do I do? Filler words out of the wazoo. I'm trying to resist the urge to rest my chin on the microphone, so I apologize if I was shouting in your ear. How do I get them to go around like they should? How do I get them to go around like they should? Fantastic. Glad your ears aren't bleeding. That would be the worst. Can you imagine? Not only would it hurt like hell, but then you'd have to deal with the feeling of liquid trickling in your ears. It sounds awful. You can tell I've never had an ear injury. Or at least not one that made me bleed. I want to make sure that those numbers get around right. But I can't add to existing things. I can't add to existing things if I want to keep the numbers right. I do get water in my ear. That's how I know that having liquid in your ear is annoying. I'm just gonna make my eye twitch. Wee. Okay. Oh god. No, I can go through this backwards. Maybe I should go through it backwards. But then how do I get the values there? If I already have numbers there. I'm only doing it if they don't already have numbers there. But I can't do that because if a pipe should receive it from 2 places and it has no numbers there. No, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen, actually. Okay, let's try going backwards again. Because I think I have an idea. Okay. So we're gonna try going backwards again. And then we're gonna say for pipe in path, reversed path, path dot append pipe, reversed path dot reverse. Okay, and then we're gonna go and oh right, okay, so now we're gonna loop through this. Okay, and I'm gonna do this stuff. Okay, so yeah, I think this might actually do something. Just to try to explain it. Because all of the pipes are in kind of a pseudo-ordered bit, this means that if something is somehow fed by 2 different pipe groups, that it should have its value already from one of the pipe groups, minimum, in theory. I'm not sure if that made sense, but I promise it makes sense to me. So, well, I mean, you've been able to see while I go through here just how fast it all populates. Math is very, very fast with computers, so I think it'll be okay as long as I calculate in the right places. And I already have ideas on how to do that. So far, the only thing that I've been concerned about performance-wise is what happens when I have to draw large groups of pipes. So, for example, if I load this nasty thing here, and then I go into the next room, and come back, it kind of takes a second to draw. This is literally the only thing I've been concerned about so far. And I think I have some race conditions in process, but that's not a performance problem. That's just a logic issue, and I think I can fix those. I actually planned to do those today. But then I decided to do this instead. Because, like, I can do stuff like, yeah, you can see like this. If I flick right, I get a very funky design. And, yeah, I want to fix that. Come on, I've been holding control. And there are shenanigans with it. So, there's some stuff there, but that's not a performance issue. As far as I can tell, there has been no performance issues, since it's all just variable assignments and math. And I've looked into a little bit of things that cause performance issues with Godot. Most all of them have to do with mass instantiation of objects. I think I'd have to be trying really, really hard to let math slow things down. Yes. Yeah. So, I don't think I'm gonna be able to overload the computer with addition. I just don't think that's gonna happen. No matter how many loops I have. It's wrong to say that I'm not concerned. I'm a little bit concerned. Because that's my personality. I am always worried about things. I worry about way too many things. And, I don't think it's entirely unfounded here to be a little bit worried. But I don't think it's gonna be a problem either. So I'm concerned. I'm keeping my eye on it, and I'm not gonna worry about it until I have an actual issue. Once I start seeing performance problems, then I'll worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it before then. That's kind of my philosophy here right now. Not so much that it's a future me problem, but just that I know that I am very prone to worry about things that I don't need to worry about. I think it's worth keeping in the back of my mind, but I'm not going to do anything about it until there's an actual problem. Because then I'd just be optimizing things that are unnecessary and spending a bunch of time and beating my head against the wall for stuff that doesn't matter. I already do that too much. I don't need more of that in my life. Basically, yes. Okay, so we're gonna go through reverse path here. And what I'm gonna do... Okay, so if path dot or type, yeah, path sub type has looping. I gotta make sure that exists first. Okay. And so we make sure that there's looping and connection, since this is just about moving looping around. And just making sure that it actually gets to places. This is gonna feel weird, but no, I think that what I have here is probably mostly correct. So I'm gonna take a look at it. But I have to make sure math is okay. Okay, so for... This is why I'm typing it out instead of copy and pasting it. Because I actually do want to double check my logic. Okay, so now we're gonna go through, loop through all the connections. If path sub connection has looping equals false. Yeah, this seems solid so far. Path sub connection sub looping equals okay, now this is where I have to be careful. Because I am propagating it forward. Not backward. Ooh, this is scary, actually. Because if I'm going backwards... Oh man, it's so hard to talk about my worry here. So most of the time when I go forward through the pipe path, I know that the next one that comes before it is going to be after it. That was ridiculous. Let me try again. Look, I don't know how to talk. I am just a blob of outer space. Don't worry about it. The fact that I can beam directly into your minds is, you know, something else here. But yeah, most of the time, because the path is going forward, I can trust that what I'm putting down will get propagated forward. And that's why I wanted to have it in a pseudo order here. And that's also why I use arrays for a lot of things as well, because the ordering there has always mattered, and I try to keep the pipes somewhat in order. So here, since I'm trying to go backwards through it, I'm bringing the element forward. But what if there's something behind it that would affect the amount of element going forward? I don't think, like, normally that would be scary. But here, since I already propagated the path once, and I'm only going through areas that don't have looping or a loop value that they should have, but they don't just because of the ordering, I think I'll be okay, because I am explicitly checking to make sure that I am not adding values to something that already has a value. Okay, that sounds like an absurd explanation, but I think it's correct, so I think I'm actually okay. So in other words, I think I can be lazy and copy and paste this. I appreciate myself for wanting to double check my logic, but I think my logic is sound at this point. And then, at some point, we'll be resetting the numbers. No, I should be careful with that. Okay. So now what I want to check is what do I do when something should be fed by multiple splitters? If something is being fed by multiple splitters, it should already have a looping value. I think I've already been through that. And so the next time I go forward... Okay, I want to double check my numbers here because I don't trust this. But I need to check. I need to check it. You know what? Here is a fine place to check it. So I already have some print code in there to check it. So let's go check it. Godot said no, we're not doing this today, but that's okay. I want all the numbers. I want all of them. Okay. I forget that I kind of have to wait a second before clicking. It increases my odds of getting the numbers. Okay, so we still don't have correct numbers, but I just want to see... Okay, so I'm looking for looping shenanigans. And underneath that text will be what I'm looking for. And it'll be fantastic. Alright, let's see here. Where is it? So much scrolling. Loop percentage. Okay. I scrolled past it, which I'm not surprised. Loopin', loopin', loopin'. Where's my looping shenanigans? Here we are. 495. Huh, so it's still getting extra. Okay, I'll check that a little bit. We'll just pretend like 495 is correct right now. Okay. And what about the other one? Okay, so I think it might be okay. Maybe. Let me go check my loop up here. Because it looks like we're getting 495 in there, and we definitely should not be. Okay. So, there's something going on. Let's go fix that. because I think that'll be easier than whatever the hell I'm trying to do up here. Where are you? Propagate pipe loop. Okay, so found starting merger. It's equal to nothing, which is exactly what I want right now. So if starting merger list has pipe. This should be correct. Did I accidentally set it to false up there? No, I didn't. Okay. Time for some printing. Found. Let's go see what the problem is here. Okay, and for giggles, give me my starting merger list too. Just once though. I don't need that every time. Okay. Okay. God, it's so close I can taste it. That's why I wanted to do this today. And Godot still says no, but it's okay. We're just looking at numbers, alright? So this is the important part, and you guys can see that. In fact, you can now see it twice. So you'll have double the look at the numbers. Truly paradise. Alright, so let's see where that 475 is coming from. Lupin, 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 Lupin. Okay. Alright, so here's my starting merger list. That's what I want. That is beautiful. Okay. So this will be the extractor. This will be that merger. And so now it's here. We're good. And now we found the other one, so we're good. And this is all kind of what I was expecting, so I'm not sure why we're getting 495. How awkward. Welcome back. Because this is the only pipe that feeds back into it, so that should not be feeding back into it. Me talking to myself as usual. Alright. Okay, so this is found pipe is false. That's what I would expect. So what happens? Oh, congrats. I used to do a little bit of theater stuff when I was young, but I was behind the scenes. So I didn't actually get to perform on stage. It's okay, it was a good time. 495. Okay, we're gonna run a comparison. No, don't worry about it. Being scuffed is like half the fun. Okay, so you're gonna have to move up. But that's fine, you can do that. Let's see. Right here. Okay. That's fine. What's wrong with old people? Old people are great. Okay. So let us do a comparison to what was there before and what is there at the end. So I can get an idea of where this extra stuff is coming from. Oh god, I have to do so much scrolling. Okay, so there's my starting merger list. Ah, didn't I delete that? Oh no, I didn't. Alas. That's okay. Okay, so it's getting 495 here. That still doesn't seem right. It should be 440. Where's the extra amount coming from? Oh god, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, I'm on the wrong loop. Okay. That's what I did. I scrolled to the wrong place. Oh, good luck. It's okay. It'll be fun regardless. Or, you know, if it doesn't sound fun, just don't participate. Let's see. 440. There we go. Our number is good. But the fact that it is different down at the bottom is concerning to me. Okay, so what is the number in the merger? What number were you? Like 250, 500? You're gonna be higher than this. Let's find them. Oh yeah, you're gonna be much higher than this. I gotta find it. I scrolled too far. 150, 450, 300, 350. Yeah. I mean, it's more fun doing things than not doing things. Let's see. So 350, 450. Here. 55. Because I think this is where it's coming from, and I want to know why. 440 plus 55. 495. It was almost certainly coming from here. Why, though? It has the starting merger. Oh, because I'm doing that based on the pipe, not the connections. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I know what's happening now. Okay. Okay, so here. This is where I want it. Right there. That's where it belongs. Means I'm also gonna need this down here for when there's only one connection. But that's fine. Okay, so now we should be getting better numbers. Well, let's find out. Okay, so I think this is probably going to be enough data. Let's take a look. I just gotta find it. It takes me a second. It's 150. Yeah, here we are. 450. Oh, nope. That's still no good, huh? Oh, right, because I put the check up top. Okay. Too bad. I can't just make it easy. Okay. Is found a pipe equals false. Okay, so we just take this. And there. Okay, so now it should be fixed. I keep forgetting a bunch of small things. I can tell that I'm getting a little bit tired. But you know what? It's a good tired. Ooh, we're getting a different number. It's slightly higher. Oh wait, no it's not. I'm just at the wrong point. It might be slightly higher, but I don't know. It didn't print enough for me to tell. I am the universe. I am not beholden to my time. Time is what I want it to be. I can move freely through the fourth dimension. I just have no depth perception, so sometimes I end up in weird places. Don't worry about it. Okay. I know, right? We're getting recursive code view. I don't feel like fixing it this time. The numbers are the only thing that matters. Okay. Did I fix it? Did I fix the thing? It's alright, just a little further. I'll find it in here eventually. 200, 200, we gotta keep going. Just a little more. There we go. 440, hell yeah! Okay. I know, I did scale the debug window. It is a little bit bigger. This is about the size I could handle, because I wanted you guys to be able to read it a little bit better. The font size here is actually considerably larger than it started. I've been considering making it even bigger. My guy. Okay. Anyway, let's see. I am going to go comment the excess printing here now. Alright. Then from here, let's see. Okay, so now that I have all that commented again, I'm gonna leave it there in case I need it later, but I think we're probably good at this point. So now I have all that in the right place. I have certain other numbers hopefully propagating more correctly. I'm not sure if it's sufficient. Let's see what happens. $80. No, we're back down to 80. What about the other ones? Because I don't think 80 is necessarily wrong, and yeah, 80 is the smaller one. So this one's gonna be huge. Okay, so we still have extras. But at the very least, I think I'm feeling pretty good about what we're doing there, so let's try to determine where the problem is here. Okay. I probably don't need to be printing my loops anymore, because I don't think I'm going to use them. I have to find it again. No, not you. You. There we go. Okay. I do like keeping this guy here just at the start, but I don't think I need to keep printing that. Okay. Actually, you know what? I so don't need it. I'm just gonna kill it. Alright, here we go. So let's see here. Time to look through the numbers again. So I think that they're all moving around, right? I do. I used to, yes. For streaming only. I don't really use it for much else. Sometimes I'll have like a video up on my second monitor. But at least for this, it's useful for keeping track of chat. This way I can I have plenty of space to do other things here without having to deal with overlapping chat windows. Okay. So this looks fine. No. Okay, and this seems okay. Let's see here. So it does look like things are getting around how they need to. This number, I think, is correct. Because it was something like 4 when I checked it at, what value was that here? It's like the second to last one. Yeah, here. So it's 2 here. So that should pass on to this and also be 2. So that seems fine. What is printing that? Okay, so this is here. Then we have looping shenanigans, which tells me that we're good there. Alright, and... okay, so now we're gonna go through the math. Looping before, looping after. Okay, yeah, because I commented this. This is probably wrong, but I just wanted to look at some stuff. Okay, this seems okay, though. What about the other one? What about the other one? A 16? And then what goes in here? We have 110. Still 110. This number should be lower. Why is it not lower? Okay, let's see. So the way I calculate this, what is other merger? So this is hitting before and after. So we are getting inside here. .3, so it should be getting a little bit bigger. Why is it not? Let's see. So we have the other merger here. Or I do get it. I'm printing it out and it is the right one. Okay. So if other merger has looping, it should have looping now. Yeah, I've seen up here that it does have 2. And it does have 1. And we get the element, and we get this. Loop ratio, I see that I'm getting a number. I'm not sure if it's right, but I think it's probably fine. Then... I'm going to assume it's fine for now because that's not the problem that I'm looking at. Okay, so... path loop list. Okay, so that's here. So this is before we add any numbers. And that's what I would expect. The 110 there. Oh no, I was just looking at the wrong place. Now it's 146. Okay, no, we're good. I was just looking at the wrong place. I'm printing too many things. These things happen, like I said. Can tell I'm getting tired. Okay. So no, this seems okay. I'm just going to assume that it's calculating correctly. That's probably dangerous, but that's okay. So... then we go through everything and reset it to 0. And then I think I want to do the propagating things backwards. that I did here again. I don't need to reverse the path again because the reverse path still exists in this context. These are identical. I should probably make a function, but I can't be bothered. So there we go. What do you mean reverse path isn't in this context? No, it's totally fine. You're all good. I'm glad that it looks like I'm having fun, even though I'm like internally and externally screaming so much here. But you know what? It is fun, okay? Let's see, where's my reverse path, and why aren't you in... Did I, like, put you in the... No, I put you in the right place. Where are you? Who am I, and what's going on anymore? Did I, like, indent you wrong? I think I did. Oh, no, I didn't. We're okay. We're gonna make the reverse path outside of this, then. Because I don't want to have to do this twice, that's stupid. Okay. There we go. We only have to make the reverse path once. There's no point in doing more loops. Coding is fun. I agree. Alright. So yeah, I want this to be outside that, which it probably is. Yes. Perfect. What do you mean index isn't declared in the current scope? Oh yeah. How the hell was I doing it before then? Well, I still haven't commented up here. What did I do? What did I do? Okay. I know what I did. No, I actually, I don't think I need to do that. So instead... No, that's stupid. I can tell I'm getting tired, so I keep doing things that are stupid. Let's try not to do things that are stupid. Okay. So we check for looping. Then we go through if the splitter is balanced, we just need to go for index in path. What am I doing? Connection. Looping. Boom. Okay. It'll be something like that. I'm sure it's fine. Why do I do it like this? Yeah, that's a good question. What am I doing? Oh, right, because I have to... I have to do something. Okay, there we go. It's a sleeve. It's the sleeve to my dress. It is meant to basically resemble clouds. And I am Planckera. I'm a personification of the Big Bang. We make stuff here, so... I make universes. It's what I do. So there you go. Okay. I'm still a little bit worried about this, but I think it'll be okay. This is probably only going to make the numbers bigger, which means that we're still going to have problems, but I want to see. I want to look. Yeah, still around 80. And you're still around 80, and you're still around 161. Okay, so now I gotta figure out where the extra stuff is coming from. I probably have enough print statements to do that. So let's go take a look at what's happening here. So at the very end, how much element do we have in here? 440. Okay, yeah, I think I know where the extra one is coming from. Yes, much later. Well, galaxies, yes. The universe was theoretically created at that point. But you know, it's hard to know. Okay. So, let's go. Yeah, I thought that would only make the numbers bigger. Does that make all the numbers bigger? Yes. Okay. Very hot, very dense. Describes me in my youth quite well, yes. So there's something that the math's not doing. I don't think we're getting extra stuff from outside. We're getting it from the calculations there. And then the way I'm moving it around may not be entirely correct. Let's do some counting. Let's see. So we have 200 coming out of this extractor. So 200 water coming here. That goes up to here. Where it's going to get split in half. And 100 is going to come this way. And 100 is going to come this way. This side is boring, so I'm going to look at this side. Okay. So we have 100 here in the splitter. And it's going to get split in half into 50. 25 goes here. 25 comes back. So I'm going to keep I am going to have a notepad file open here to keep a running total of a split here. Yeah, exactly. We make universes here. It's what I do. 25. And so just keeping a running tally of what I think is coming back here. So we have 50 coming back from this loop. We have 25 coming back from this loop. I'm debating if this is okay. It might be okay. Because one of the things that I was worried about is that I don't really keep track of element that escapes the loop. I only keep track of what escapes into endpoints. And that might be where the extra stuff is coming from. I'd been kind of holding out on doing that until I had, like, exhausted everything else, that I made sure I had no bugs anywhere else. But I think that might be the source of the issue at this point. So, but I'll keep counting. So, yeah, we have 25 coming back here. So, now we're going to come over here. And what was that number? We had 100. 100. So 50 is going to come up here. So this is 50, 50, 50, and then it splits here. 25 goes here. Up here. 25 goes here, so this is going to be half of 25, which is 12.5. So 12.5 comes back. Okay, so now I add those numbers together. 50 plus 25 plus 12.5. And then I'm going to divide that by 200. 43. So the number I'm getting back is too big. There's a problem with the calculation for when I get numbers back. Okay. I'm gonna note that number. 43.75. It's true. I think I know how I calculate that. I should think about that because yeah. Okay, I think I have this backwards. Okay, this time I'm gonna look at the number going into the endpoints, and that's the number I'm gonna record. So let's count again. So we start here with 200, get split into 100 here. We don't care about what comes here because there's no endpoint, so 100 goes this way. Here, it's gonna be split into 50, and here it's gonna be split into 25, which goes into there. Okay. So we have 25. And then here we have 200. It's going to be split in half. 100 goes up through here. Split in half again. 50 goes through here. And here it's going to split in half into 25. Where's my thing? There we are. Okay, and then we continue from 25. Here gets split in half into 12.5, and 12.5 goes in here. Okay. So now we have 25 plus 25 plus 12.5. Okay, 62.5. 31%. Okay, I'm gonna go look at my calculation again. No, okay, I see. I do see, but I'm gonna have to, I wanna look at it. Okay. So it's down here. We'll close the game. So I have the numbers recorded. And let's see if I can kind of figure out what the hell's going on here. Alright, so the way I do it, yeah, let's see. Look, coding is hard. Anyway, so, just to explain myself again here, I go through the loop list, and I try to ignore any duplicate starting mergers. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. It's just hard because the way I coded it is I wanted to find every endpoint that touched the merger, and the way to do that was just to get everything as opposed to stuff that was only like contained within the loop. So I get not only that red box there, the phylactery, I get the 2 black boxes up top too. Because as far as I'm concerned, all of those are connected to this merger. So I make sure that if a merger is part of multiple loops, that I calculate it based on just one, and I think that might be the source of my issue. Because I'm not necessarily getting the one that's the amount that's coming back correctly then. Because yeah, when I look at the little bit of napkin math that I did here, and I based it on the amount of stuff going into the endpoints versus the amount of stuff that I think is actually coming back around to the beginning there, they're not the same. So it is in how I calculate the percentage. So I'm gonna have to think about more accurate ways to calculate this percentage. But I think once I have that, I might have it all. Ooh, or maybe I'll find, once again, that there's 7 more steps. So let's see, the way that I did this initially. Is optimized? Probably not. It'll never be optimized unless it has to be. I'm just gonna write it. It's fine. As long as there's no performance issues, who cares? I don't think game code needs to be heavily optimized. I think the engine should be heavily optimized. The engine should care about that stuff, absolutely. But me, nah. I get to have an easier time. It's fantastic. That's why I'm using an engine. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I'm happy to be using it. I'm really glad to see so many open source projects kind of taking off. Like, Krita's starting to approach Clip Studio Paint in terms of functionality. It's getting real close. It already has everything I want, but apparently there's things that other people want, so... Krita's catching up there. Blender's better than pretty much any industry standard. And, you know, things are just getting out there. I'm hoping that all of these Live 2D-esque projects go somewhere, and we start getting something better than Live 2D. I don't think it should be hard to be better than Live 2D. Live 2D is terrible. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I hope it all goes well. I'd love to make myself a version 2 someday. Make myself shiny. Let's see. That's the thing, though. It's like, what's not going through the endpoints? Like, where is it going, then? Yeah, I've never really used Unity. I like to use open source stuff when I can. If it's able to do what I want it to do. Unfortunately, that's becoming more and more possible, and I'm all for it. I'd like to contribute to some at some point. I'm not sure if my coding skills are up to snuff, but I'd like to try someday. Alright, good night, Wendell. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're able to sleep well. And I'll probably be stopping soon too, because I'm gonna have to think about how I should actually calculate this. Because, yeah, I've got 2 numbers here, and they are different. So I'll probably start winding down. I don't think I'm gonna find a solution to this here. I think my brain is all pooped from doing everything else, but I think everything else is really good. Everything else is looking great. If I can get these numbers better, I think everything will be in good shape. And I just hope to God I don't find that there's gonna be 7 more steps. I will cry. But then I'll get over it and fix it. It'll be fine. There's nothing like sweet, delicious tears to make your code better. So... I'm just wondering, like, where's the rest of it going? Let's just do some more countings, just so I can think about this. Gonna do more manual counting. I like using the vaporizer because it makes it real obvious where I'm hovering. 200. You know what? I'm gonna do another thing. We are gonna take a screenshot. And then I'm gonna draw on this. So let's see. Let's see what we got here. Can I successfully draw on this? What is that gonna look like? Let's see. Okay, let me crop this into something. Just want to get all this set up here. Okay. And let's hop on over to Krita for a second. Oh, I saw the game up. I was like, wait, why do I have a double? But there we go. Okay. I'm not gonna get my tablet out. I can't be bothered. So, we're gonna do it with the mouse. Hell yeah. So let's go. So here, we have 100. And then it's gonna get split in half. Right here. So that 100 goes this way. And 100 goes this way. This goes all the way through, so it's fine. All of that comes back. So that's why we just pretend like it's not really a thing. Okay, and then from here, it's gonna go here, and then it's gonna get split in half again. And we're gonna have 50, with 25 going into the invisible phylactery. I'll just go ahead and scribble the vaporizers in, just so I remember where they are. Okay, and then after that, we have 25 coming over here. So now we have 125 coming here after one loop. Okay, and then this goes up here, so we're gonna have a 50 here, and then this just goes until we get to here, in which case we get 25 here, and 25 here. And then here, it's gonna get split here again, so we're gonna get 12.5 here. And 12.5 here, which is gonna get carried down through all this. So no, we don't have 125. We have, God, what number is that? 137.5. Yes. Yes? Yes. Okay. I had to make sure, okay? Yes. Okay. So we take 137.5 divided by 200. And we get 68%. So no, I have the right number. Shoot. I thought I was onto something, but no, I have the right number. I was just losing something in my brain because, look, counting is hard, okay? Okay. And then just for giggles, we're gonna have a little bit come up here too. So this 12.5 will also come back into this 50, which will then become 62.5. Let's actually get that on the screen. 62.5. Okay. And then, you know, there's gonna be shenanigans. So instead we'll have 62.5 going through there, and that's why this one gets smaller, because it more ends up in it than was originally. And that's why we get, okay, I don't have the number up on Godot right now, but it's gonna be something like, from the initial 50, we get, no, the way, God, how do I calculate this? So from loop 2, we start with 50. 50 is what hits here. And then what comes back around is going to be 50, is going to be 12.5. Okay, so 12.5 divided by 50 is a 0.25, which unfortunately is still the right number. No, I'm calculating everything right. So I'm doing something else wrong, and I don't know what it is. Life is hard. Alright, so I think I'm gonna have to think about this one. So I think I'll probably stop there, but at the very least, I think I'm on the right track here. Everything here matches up with my scribbling. So that's good. But it also means I don't know what's wrong. I do think that we probably inched a little bit closer today. But this has been my nightmare for the past month. Gradually, I have sorted it out, and most of the things are solved. It's just when things get really stupid like this. I hope so. God, I hope so, but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep hammering at it until I have the math right. This is the core of the game here. I can't afford to half-ass it. It has to be totally correct. If I want people to be able to make any pipe abomination of their dreams, and I have to make sure that I can calculate correctly. And I can't compromise on that. But at the very least, going through it manually looks very promising. It does. So I just have to figure out, why do my numbers look different? Yeah, more with screen transitions is gonna be after this. I just want to make sure that everything moves between screens okay. And then I can add the next big gameplay element, which will be more nightmare pipe math. But it'll be okay. I actually do think it'll be okay. Once I have this robust, I'm not actually feeling too scared of it. Oh, probably. It can't be harder. I already have them like half done. There's just a few values that need to go back and forth still, and then I need to make sure that elements can move between screens. And then I get to have more fun with recursion. Not recursion, pipe loops. Because, you know, here... Oh, it's okay, I don't need help. I'd actually prefer, generally... Unless you really know what you're doing, and you are, like, actively looking through my code and know exactly what I'm trying to do, that you don't help. But, I mean that general, not you specifically. But, yeah, it's like... Once I start doing room transitions, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go through and, I have to make sure that the elements can move between rooms, because you're gonna be able to funnel things into a pipe and let them move between rooms. And, that's gonna be the next big thing. Which also means that I have to make it so this way if you make, you know, stuff from room 1 to go into room 2, and then stuff from room 2 to go into room 3, and then stuff from room 3 back to room 1, we get another pipe loop. And I have to make sure that those calculate correctly too. I'm scared. I think it'll be okay though. Because I think once I solve it here, those pipe loops will be considerably simpler. Okay. I don't think so. I might need to for other purposes, but I don't think I need to there. Because it's all just numbers. Yeah, so at the very least, I things are looking good there. So I'll have to look into things. So I think that, you know, it's been 3 hours. My brain is dying slightly. So I think that this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow with some, Atelier Ryza, where we're going to talk about game mechanics, and it'll be great. So I hope to see you there.